Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slang Hope, and I got another video for y'all. So the other day I made a video, and I was talking about how, like women that come on the internet and constantly badmouth brothers, right? They constantly complain about how like brothers are sassy, brothers are weak, brothers is not like the men of old, they're not handsy, they're not like don't know how to fix a tire, blah blah blah. Y'all hear all the rhetoric all the time. So what I mentioned was that the same brothers that you complain about on the internet, you raised, meaning they were raised in a certain environment that usually is a single mother household, right? And when you raise children in single mother households, they grow up with a deficiency, right? Anytime you don't have, I'm not gonna say anytime because stats show that single fathers raise better children than single mothers, but don't tell them that, right? Because they don't accept any type of science, data, or whatever, right? They accept the ones that kind of like uplift what they're trying to prove, or their pseudoscience stats, right? But they can't really like substantiate. But anyway, I don't want to get derailed. So the point is, I was just trying to highlight how the foundation of a child's upbringing plays a big role in how or what trajectory children usually take, right, into adulthood. And man, oh man, the baby mama coalition was just up my neck. Like, it was crazy. Even like if you look at under the video, the live I had here, there was this one sister, she wrote me like a whole essay. She wrote me like a whole essay, not really listening. You could tell she wasn't even really listening to what I was saying, right? Some people, they hear whatever triggers them in a moment, right? Like some people will not even make it through a whole video, right? Some people, what they will do, and even if they do make it through a whole video, their ears shut at the moment that they become triggered. That's why it's so hard to speak to some people. Because the moment they hear a word that triggered them, and it's usually from like childhood or growing up, right, or something that was used towards them, and they have this visceral connection to that word. When they hear those words, right, they just lose it, and they can't hear nothing else that you mentioned, because that word that you just used took them back a few years back, a few decades, and they still bleeding from that wound, right? So they can't hear nothing else. They can't understand nothing else. And at that point, they're just waiting to let you have it to respond, right? So anyway, the baby mama coalition just went crazy, deflecting, right? I just made a video talking about that. They just started deflecting. They quickly kept talking about the father. They quickly kept talking about like we didn't make the children on our own. They quickly kept just anything to really just stay on them for a little bit, right? To have the conversation. It was insane. It was nuts, because all I said is, even if you in a two-parent household, right? The mother oftentimes is the main guardian. It's the main caretaker. So how you are around your children, how you speak around your children, what you do around your children is very vital to their character development. Now imagine if you don't have the father in the picture at all. They wanted to dwell on why the father not. Listen, I don't want to get into that because I don't really know why some of these men are not in the picture. Okay? It's different reasons. Some men are not in the picture because and I said this in the last video, some men are not in the picture because they clearly, for whatever reason, abandoned their child. Some of those men were abandoned, right? They don't even know where to begin and how to be a father, right? Of course, that's not the woman's fault. I'm just saying that's the case in some cases. In other cases, the women, they weaponize the children. They push the fathers away, right? They don't allow them to see their kids. So when I said that, you know what these sisters had the nerve to say? He not fighting enough. I know some women were in the comment section like, I know some men who they don't care. They have to fight, whether it was years, whether they have to get lawyers, why should a man have to do that? And every time I ask this question, They couldn't give you a substantial answer. Like, this is the mindset of some of these sisters, the baby mama coalition, right? Like, why should a man have to break his back if he wants to be in the life of his child? It's bad enough you got some men who they don't want no parts. And if you happen to have a man that want to be in his children's life, you're going to tell me you're going to play games with that man? You're going to keep his kids from him and he wants to be in the life of his children? You're going to be playing with the courts? It's crazy, man. It's crazy, the logic of some of these sisters. But anyway, this message is not really so much for them, because brothers, they were right about one thing. And the thing they were right about is that we don't protect our seed enough. Honestly, brothers, a lot of you give some of these women life. Not only do you help them, right, with hope, with bringing life, even though God's the only one that brings life and death, right? But you get what I'm saying. Not only do you assist them, right, by, getting involved with them sexually, you also give some of these women life. Some of these women don't have nothing to live for. Some of these women, if it wasn't for them children that they have, right, they don't got anything. They never had anything. Their life didn't mean nothing. Some of them, motherhood is the only thing. And they struggling with that. But motherhood, for a lot of them, it's the only thing that keep them going. It's the thing that gave them motivation to go to school, give them motivation to get their life in order, or do certain things, or just make it look like they got it in order. But, the child you gave them helped them get a crib. Before that, they didn't really probably have a crib. Having a child help you get a crib probably help them put a little money in their pocket, get a little assistance from the government. It came with perks. They'll deny it, but it came with perks. It came with perks. But again, like I said, we be putting ourselves in them situations because we don't be thinking. You know how many dudes get involved with some of these? You know how many of y'all get involved with some of these chicks that they're around the way girls? You know they don't care about their body. You know everybody done got crazy with them. And then you had to be the dummy to slip up. You probably was intoxicated, juiced in it. And now you want people to feel sorry for you because you going through child support. You knew she was ratchet. You knew she was ghetto as hell. You knew she was a dysfunctional creature. Had problems at home. You knew that. We be knowing that about a lot of these people, and we still give them our power. Your sperm is literally your power. It's literally your power. It's a lot of nutrients. It's a lot of minerals, especially zinc. We need zinc. And we give it to these degenerate women. So that now they get the ball in their court. Now they literally getting our power. Because sperm is powerful. And now they playing in our face. That's why I don't be feeling bad for some dudes. I really don't. I like when the dudes be crying and come on, we got the same way I tell them, I don't be feeling bad for them. They knew they was messing with an ancient dude. They knew that. They want to be talking about, oh, he had potential. Then when you ask them, what potential did you see? They didn't really see no potential. They was blinded by stupidity. But brothers, a lot of brothers ain't gonna care, right? Because you got the degenerate children of the degenerate women. And again, I don't care if they look at it like blame. It is what it is. 85% of the men in prison came from a single mother household. 85. That's a very high percentage. And you tell them that, they don't want to hear that. They will ignore that stat. And again, this is not sole blame. I'm trying to highlight that we need to be invested in two-parent households. And that as a guardian, but anyway, and I was just saying, as a guardian, yes, responsibility gonna fall on you. Right? It's your body, your choice. Your responsibility, your consequences. You can't just wiggle out. And they love saying it takes two to tango, but it only takes one to decide to have a child. right? Because when guys tell sisters, I didn't want to have the child, and you say, I don't believe in abortion, you keep it. All right, so you made a decision. And with that decision comes consequence. You can't cry later. You can't cry later. I made a decision, right? I made a decision to get into the streets, to gangbang, to shoot people, to do things. I signed a pact to go out there, throw my life away. I can't be crying. I don't be crying now because I got a felony conviction, because I can't get certain jobs, because I can't work certain places, because I can't live certain places. I don't cry about it. I hold it down. So what if I was a teenager? They don't care. The state don't care. I got to hold it down. I made a decision, and I got to hold down the consequences. And what I'm trying to tell you is the consequences that you make, that you are responsible for, are not only affecting you, they affect the community. These children are raising themselves. Like, and when I say that, they got a problem. All they kept doing was deflecting. When I'm saying that you raising iPad babies because you don't have the capacity to take care of them, right? When I'm saying that, get male influence around these children, put them in boot camp, put them in a sport, get whatever brothers you got, uncles, like get them around men so they can navigate how to become men. They had a problem with that. They had a problem with me saying that young boys need male influence. When I say that fathers, statistically proven, single fathers raise more productive children than single mothers, they had a problem with that. I didn't come up with the stat. They measured up the success of children who come from a single mother household and from a single parent household, and also children who come from a two parent household. And they said that the numbers of single father households are similar to the numbers of a two parent household. I didn't come up with that. And when we tell you that, it's a problem. And this is why, like, brothers, this is why I say, bro, our communities is not going to go nowhere until we take it. We cannot sit here and try to negotiate with these terrorists. We cannot sit here, and this is why I tell brothers, stop trying to negotiate your masculinity with women. Stop, bro. And if you need help, I tell you brothers all the time, you should know, bro, a lot of you dudes act like your mama. Real talk. And if you can't acknowledge that, as a man, see, part of being a man, you got to be real with yourself. If you can't acknowledge as a man, you know what? I do got traits like my mom. I am argumentative like my mom. I am a little catty like my mom. Right? I am a little irrational and emotional like my mom. You have to be able to be realistic with yourself. Some of us have traits, have woman traits. You got to be real with yourself. And if you know you got woman traits, bro, you need to get help. And I'm not telling you this as a man that got it all, because there's a balance. We should have a balance between the masculine and the feminine. But when the feminine is overriding your masculinity, you got a problem, bro. When a lot of the traits that you have are more feminine than masculine, you got a problem, bro. I don't care what they telling you in society. You got a problem, bro. You got a problem. When you don't have that balance, you're supposed to have more testosterone than estrogen. I don't care what they tell you in society today. You're supposed to have more testosterone than estrogen. When them chemical imbalances ain't adding up, you need help. You need help. And it's crazy that they will give somebody hormones. They will give somebody hormones because they trying to transition, but they won't give men who have low testosterone level hormones. It's crazy. And in the medical field, I don't know if maybe it was just my doctor. I wasn't going there for testosterone, but my doctor was like, we're not giving you hormones. Praise the Lord that my testosterone is high. But I'm like, yo, it's crazy. They'll give them other people hormones, but you won't give me hormones or try to like bring about a balance in my body. That's crazy. So pay attention to what's going on, brothers. Pay attention to what's going on. And these sisters, a lot of times they're aiding in our eradication. They claim they want a strong man. They claim they want us to lead, right? And they don't know how to follow. And I know you hear this redundantly, but you got to pay attention. We supposed to be the leaders. We sitting here arguing with them, trying to negotiate our masculinity, our manhood, trying to negotiate how we. No, bro, it's no negotiation. You need to lead, homie. And the leaders got to make the tough decisions. And sometimes the tough decision is walking away, homie. No matter how much of her other traits are good, if not somebody that can follow, if she never had a male leader in her house, which a lot of us didn't, which is why it's hard for some of our young men to listen to other men. We can't even talk to a certain we can't even talk to each other a certain way because dudes already thought like, don't talk to me like that. You know what I'll do to you? Don't disrespect me, gang. I'm big blood, big crip, big folk. Shut up. You ain't big nothing. We don't command in our communities. We don't lead. We can't even lead our households. We crashing on somebody's couch. We haven't built nothing. We haven't sustained nothing. And the sisters talk trash to us. Even though they got a lot of their stuff through the government, through the domestic violence programs, and to single motherhood, right? Even though whatever. Don't pay attention to that, homie. We men, we got to figure it out. And when you figure it out, and even as you figure it out, don't take no nothing from these chicks, bro. Don't take nothing from nobody. You get what I'm saying? But I'll be a little more lenient to my brothers because I understand. You get what I'm saying? I understand, like, you another brother going, like, struggling through your struggling in your masculinity, in your manhood. You struggling like me. I could see that. I could see another man. You trying to figure out just like me. And it gets frustrating, right? Because everybody against us. Our own women is against us, bro. Who wants to deal with that, bro? Who wants to deal with that? Our own woman is against us. Listen to the hate that they spew out their mouth, bro. I don't care they hurt. Like you shouldn't say certain things. And it's hurt on both ends. But I'm talking to the brothers. Brothers, we gotta dust ourselves off. Our mothers done crippled us. But we still sharpen steel. We gotta sharpen each other. Some of the brothers, that's why some brothers trying to do the work. Some brothers trying to be in the community. Some brothers trying to help brothers navigate those situations. You get what I'm saying? Because they trying to eradicate us, homie. And we be trying to eradicate ourselves. You got a certain, system is used so frequently. You got a certain agenda, right? That is working, man. It's working wonders. And we sitting out here picking each other off. We won't even support each other. We got to be better supporters of each other. You see, women support each other all day. They a lot for each other. I mean, they don't really got, they catty and they fight and they got beef and they don't really like each other. But in the face of the people, man, they support each other BS. They lie for each other. They support each other's delusions. I'm not saying we should do it like that. But I'm just trying to show you, man, they support each other in their nonsense. And we can't even uphold each other to really take our communities, man. So one thing they are right about, man, we got a lot of power. We can't rely on them to be logical and really see what we're trying to tell them when they just out here popping these babies and neglecting them. And these kids growing up, hurt, hating their moms, hating the woman that was supposed to be their guide, right? And they love talking about, you can't keep blaming the one who stayed. How long you gonna use that? You still responsible. You the guardian. You know when school call you home, when school calls to talk about your child, they're not asking where the pop's not there. They're not asking like, well, you know where no. The mothers has always been the caretaker. Even when two parents are in the house, and a lot of y'all don't get this, even when two parents are in the house, the mother is still the caretaker. The child still spends most of his time around the mama. So if you ratchet, you ghetto, you disrespectful, you talk crazy out your mouth, you curse in front of your children, you twerk in front of them. Our children are growing up with issues, man. They're growing up with issues. But brothers, we can't keep giving these women our seed, bro. We can't. And like I said, some of you dudes are degenerates because your mama was a degenerate. You know, so she bred what she was, and our daddies wasn't around. And I'm not trying to insult you. You know, I'm just talking a certain way, homie. But we gotta. You could get up. You could rise. You could shake that off. You can. You don't gotta be a statistic, homie. Yeah, I went to prison. Yeah, I went through, like, I had to figure it out. My mother told me that very early, you gotta figure out how to be a man. And my mom didn't listen to me when I was growing up. When I had my struggles, I couldn't talk to her. She wasn't there. So which is why today I understand. I try to help young men navigate, because I know that feeling, man. I know what it feels like to be confused, to not know what direction to take. You know, I wasn't really catty like mama, but I still got certain traits. I still have certain traits of my mom, and I can acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? I can acknowledge that. But from a very early age, man, I was outside with the homies. I was around my cousins. I was around my uncles. I was around the boys. But what happens is we get around the wrong men. Men that are out there playing the block that came from single mother households too. They're using us. But a lot of them dudes was trying to figure out their manhood too. So they came out the house. They got involved in the streets. And this is what gave them a sense of manhood. In the streets. Being part of a gang. Being part of something. Being part of some kind of brotherhood. Putting in work. They felt good to be like, yeah, I was out there, man. I shot a few dudes. Like, they felt good about that. Because we got a lot of false notions of masculinity in our community. That's another problem. So we got a lot. We got a lot that we got to deal with. And then we got to deal with the nonsense of our sisters. Right? Trying to trash talk us. Talk crazy. Talk greasy. Belittle us. But bro, you king, homie. Don't let their words get to you. You got to do what you got to do. And you got to get some of these women out your presence. You can't even let them get a whiff of you. No, real talk, bro. Stop negotiating your masculinity. And if you need help in navigating the men's world, right? Filling these shoes, get help, homie. Get a mentor, get a coach. Not just any coach. And brothers that got it kind of like together, man, we gotta partake in certain things. We gotta be able to try to help with these young boys. Because some of us was in the same predicament trying to figure it out on our own. And some of y'all was lucky to have your pops. And if you could grab somebody, if you got nephews, if you got, cousins, if you could mentor somewhere or coach, the young brothers need you, man. And I know some of y'all love saying like, oh, they just not going to listen. It's how you deliver sometimes too. Sometimes we be talking down to the young. We be talking down to the youth. Like we know better and they don't. They got their own experience. It's a different time. We could learn from them. At first, when I came home, I used to be like that too. Oh, they dumb. They listen to this stupid music. I remember when I first heard Hot Boy by Barbie Smart. I'm like, what the hell is this? It was dumb. But then it's like, I started listening to it and I was like, I was trying to be like, okay, I'm trying to see what they talking about. I'm trying to gauge, trying to understand them. And you can't fully relay a message if you don't know your audience and you don't know how to communicate it to them. That's very important. But yeah, bro, we gotta stop wasting time with the things that don't really matter, man. And we gotta really build. We gotta really build, man, our communities. We gotta get ourselves in order. Cause ain't nobody really rocking with us like that. And we not even rocking with us like that. So when I see black men out there, I be like, yo, what up, man? Peace, bro. They could be grilling me or whatever. I'll give a head nod and a smile, homie. Like, that's nothing. I no longer carry that stupid ideology that I gotta view you a certain way. I mean, I'm still on point in case you really that dumb. I could get dumb too. But I'm not trying to get dumb. I'm trying to be in a different space that we could all uplift each other and be better creatures. But yo, comment in the comment. If you rocking with this video, make sure you share it. You like it. And hit the link in the description, man, and watch that documentary We Came to Heal, man. We need a lot of healing in our communities. But we got to get ourselves right and stop giving our power away. Peace.